If you're seeing this, then this is your new moon in Pisces messages. Welcome. My name is Lara, and we're here with some oracle cards, some tarot cards. We're going to talk a little bit about some astrology stuff and get a read of what this new moon in Pisces energy has in store for us, any messages that want to come through. If you're here and you've never been here, welcome. I'm so glad you found us. If you've been here before, welcome back. And either way, it's good to have you. Yes, this is also, I always like to say, this is a general message. If you're finding this video on or around the new moon, you're probably not finding it on the new moon. The new moon was February 27th. Okay, I'm actually posting this on February 28th. So, but it's around the new moon, regardless of when you're finding it. Or it could be any other time. And what we're focused on is the energy that's around this new moon in Pisces. But time is not linear. So if you're finding this exactly when you need to see it. There may be messages here for you. You will know best. Excuse me. You will know best. That's so interesting. So take what resonates, leave whatever doesn't. This is a general reading as well. So there's a lot of, this is the energy of everyone who's coming to this video. So it probably won't be super case specific. Maybe it will. I don't know. I don't know what you got going on, but we're talking about the overall themes, energies, patterns. That's kind of what we're looking at. So it's just good to keep an open mind, and you'll know what's best for you. Trust yourself, your instinct. Don't overthink it too much, please. Yeah. Sometimes I sleep on it. And then even after I record these, that happened earlier this week for the Tarot Tuesday video. I also do a weekly forecast. And literally the moment that I cut the video, I thought, oh my, yes, it also means that. There's another meaning there. So anyway, listen to your inner guidance. And yeah. Either way, hopefully you find something helpful here. That's my aim. That's my goal. And maybe some greater understanding of where you're at and what you're moving through at this particular moment in time, wherever that is on the time-space continuum. So all of that being said, let's get into talking about it, shall we? So like I said, the new moon happening on February 27th, 2025. I think it was around 7 something in the evening, Eastern Standard Time. So filming this the following day, during the day, we're still very much underneath this energy. The Pisces energy is, I think, something that's this is a lot of what I've seen is that this is like a very important, good time for manifestation. Okay. A lot of, and also I think this goes for like most new moons. There's the day before the new moon is where I notice for myself, I'm being asked to clean and release a lot so that there's sort of like a clean slate for this new moon energy to come in, because new moons marking a new cycle, a new lunar cycle in the month. And so that's already like a fresh start, a new beginning. It's a good time to set new intentions for yourself. And this one in particular is good energy for manifestation. So if maybe you've noticed some combination of a lot of what the reading from earlier this week, if you saw that, or if you want to go back and see it, there may be something there for you. But we got a lot of energy of like holding lightness and darkness at the same time. And the way moving through that darkness by keeping things really lighthearted. So it's So I feel like there's a lot of that energy coming through with this new moon, because it's happening like right at the beginning, this new cycle. Anyway, the Pisces energy is very dreamy. It is subconscious. It's ruled by Neptune, which is the god of the sea. Okay. And the sea representing that subconscious space. It's deep. It's vast. You can fall, you'll fall down into it and never really reach the bottom. I'm strangely being reminded of the anglerfish. If you heard that story, it's interesting. Huh. Okay. So it's interesting. So if you don't know the story, you should definitely like go see if you can find it. Basically, what happened was there was this, it's sometimes called a black sea devil anglerfish. It lives at the bottom of the ocean, in the darkest depths of the ocean. Okay, this is that fish that is, it also has the like lantern on top of its head. It's some sort of like bioluminescence. Because of where it comes from, it is so dark. Someone caught this footage of this anglerfish coming up to the surface, which is crazy. Okay. Because the fact that she made, also it's the female, and the female, if you look it up, it's like the teeth are like it's, it looks like a fish that lives in the depths of the ocean and has never seen the light of day. I personally think she's absolutely beautiful, but because of the metaphor, this one was a female. The males of an anglerfish actually are much smaller, and they attach and like become absorbed by the female and are really only necessary for procreation. So it's a really kind of like fascinating, just like in general, the fish itself. And by the way, when you look up the photos of it, it looks like scary and terrifying, but know also that this fish can fit in the palm of your hand. It's about 6 inches. Okay. If you see the videos and then knowing how small it is, but they caught this amazing footage and she came up to the surface, up out of, like out of the water. She died immediately. But what's crazy about that is a lot of people took it as symbolism of like, oh, like coming to the light and like divine feminine, dark feminine. And I love that metaphor, and absolutely. But also I think it's interesting when you compare sort of to the like biological qualities, but also behaviors. Okay. Like scientists very quickly came on and popped everyone's bubble and said that this fish probably didn't even know that the sun existed. And so that kind of speaks to the amazing ability that humans have to find incredible meaning out of situations. But I mean, like, you got to do what you got to do. Right. So, and what I think there was a few theories of like why she would have even found herself all the way up here. She just sort of was like propelling up, just like straight up. If you've ever seen a whale sleeping, or sometimes they do this sort of like anyway, just straight up. That's how she was coming up. And scientists said that I think one thing was that she had likely been like taken in by a predator of some kind that came up from down there and like somehow got out and just was sort of like propelled forward. I think other scientists, and this is sort of like where the lightheartedness is coming into play, said it was like gas. But with the pressure change, and as small as she was, it still is like outrageous. First of all, scientists have not, like, no one has ever seen this fish out of where it lives, deep down in the ocean. Okay. She came all the way up to the surface. And it's like the best, like no one's really seen it alive before. I mean, she died really quickly. But it just like in general, it's very fascinating. And it may or may not help in this studying of like, I saw another video related to organ donation, because there's like still a large amount. I think they were saying like 50% of organ donations, they just don't take. So that's why I mentioned like the male and the female, you know, there's things that scientists can learn from that to help us with things like helping bodies accept organ donations. And the incredible meaning that we immediately assigned to this fish, when the reality is that it may have just been gas. So where was I going with all of that? There's a lot of, that's coming up for me under this moon. That literally, those thoughts just kind of all came together. So I'm sharing that with you. Take that for what it's worth. I think there's something there. But also it's this space of, because Pisces can be the space of delusion, right? And we never really will know maybe why she came up or what that really is supposed to mean. Ultimately, it kind of doesn't matter, but it is representative of things coming up from the deep into this light. And I think also the just like audacity, even if it's unintentional, this like dreaming bigger, which is another theme I think is, you know, been coming up for me for sure, for a few months now. But anyway, so that's sort of like, those are my sorts of associations with it. But a lot of really potent manifestation energy, making sure that things are cleared out before we're calling new things in. What's happening the 28th, the very next day, is a fairly rare planetary alignment. So most of the planets will line up almost in a straight line. Not exactly, but almost in a straight line. And it's like a brief moment that we have all of the planets direct before we get into March and there's eclipses starting. This is the last new moon before eclipse season, I think I said something different in the last video, but correcting myself here. So there's eclipses coming up. There's Venus in retrograde. There's Mercury going retrograde. There's just like a lot more crazy energy coming for us. And we'll ride the waves as they come. That's what's coming into my head. So there you have it. Even if it's just bad gas. Oh my God. But also enjoy that little glimmer of direct energy and forward movement as we're getting into March over the next few days. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening around this moon energy. And I have my oracles and my tarot. So let's go ahead and dive in. I've got our dragon path. We'll see what dragon is here to guide us through the energy of this new moon in Pisces. Okay. Also, did you notice? Yo, girl is leveling up. I got a little microphone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Anyway. Yes. Who's our dragon under this energy? There it is. Hang on. Whoa. Okay. I'm not familiar with this dragon, you guys. That's exciting. New beginnings. New relationship. We'll see. How do we say this? As Clepius? Asclepius? I don't know, but look at that. I love the like two-tone, right? The purple and the green. That's giving duality for me. I have my own associations with green and purple together as well. You may also, there's this staff that has these purple crystals, and the dragon itself is wearing this pendant. Okay. Interesting. There's like energy emanating off of the staff. And then there's this like additional like snake, maybe, but like dragony energy. I think a lot of people, I've seen some people are excited to the new moon energy with the year of the snake energy. We just had the Lunar New Year a few weeks ago, end of last month. Okay, let me look in the book because I'm not super familiar. Let's take a look, see. What is those? XXV2. Okay. There we go. I'm picking up like sage. Yes, okay. They're in the Guardian class here. Okay. I really do not know how to say this name, so if you know how to say it and you want to let me know, I'm just going to apologize for that. Asclepius was the ancient Greek god of medicine, the son of Apollo. Oh, okay. Okay, sure. Like healing staff energy here. Oh, and you know, like the like symbol for medicine, how it's got the two snakes around that. I forget what that's called. That has its own name, which may be associated with this. Okay, we're going to keep going. Upon meeting him for the first time, his opening words were, "Your modern image of the Caduceus is incorrect." Listen, if you know about that, please let me know. He was a healer of great repute in Greek mythology, and this dragon in particular reminds us that inside us too resides great healers. His particular affinity lies with practitioners who use healing plants, herbalism, homeopathy, and essential oil and flower essence. Add to this his rather shamanic energy and his affinity with snakes. Okay, there we go. You're the snake. And he is a powerful ally. He is the dragon of the healer and the shamans. Ooh. His wisdom is boundless. If he has flown into your reading today, know that you have his abundant knowledge at your side. Continuing with his practical help for your physical life, he asks if you need the support of a professional with knowledge of healing plants, or if it's time for you to undertake training in one of the areas mentioned above, or indeed shamanism. Alongside his ability to support those working with plant energies, he is a powerful ally when we are ready for the next phase of our transformational journey. Okay, cool. So, yeah, big transformational energy, getting big like guide, healer, okay? His presence in your cards today reminds you that together you can create the immense combination of transmutation and transformation. It's giving a lot of alchemy, like alchemical for me too. Deep within, which is subconscious place, is the place to affect those alchemical changes as well. Deep within, you know you can and will succeed. Ouch. Okay. He had this to say, "You are on the cusp of transformation, so allow me to guide you forward along the winding road. Remember, hold on to what you know to be true, for it is your journey and yours alone. Life never stands still. It is forever changing and evolving. Together, we can transmute that which binds you Accepting that your journey on earth is about life, death, and rebirth as you transform and grow personally and spiritually. So also getting some Scorpio energy here with the death, transformation, and rebirth. I'm laughing because this is personal to me, but anyway, I'm going to take myself out of it and just focus on what the energy is here. So that is our dragon coming in. I'm seeing lots of transformation under this energy. If you are feeling, inclined to take advantage of it. And actually, as I'm saying that, whether or not, if you're here with this video, whether or not you are doing anything physical or making any sort of like space to work on this transformation, whatever that is for you, it's happening. So I also want to say, like, don't bog yourself down with, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to, yes, making space and time to go into meditation or work with affirmations or do spell work or manifestate, whatever you want to call it, whatever makes sense for you. That's, that can be very helpful, because what that does is speaks to your subconscious as you rewire the programming, which is what you want to be doing with this sort of alchemical transformation. Okay, you're taking alchemy is taking a base metal, lead, and turning it into something of much more higher value, which is gold. And when we talk about alchemy as far as spiritual development, it's about taking the base metals of the subconscious and turning, and the shadow, and turning it into gold, which is what, that's where I live, basically, whether it's me or showing people how to do that for themselves. So yeah, if you felt called to like healers who focus on that, or also know that this is something you can do for yourself, whether or not you're using ritual, meditation, what have you, in sort of like your physical realm, it's happening regardless because of the continued work that you do. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to do my little new moon ritual and then I don't have to do anything else. The whole point of setting the intentions to manifest any kind of change or to affect any kind of change is that you set that intention, and it like inspired action needs to be taken on it. Okay. So there's that. But if you are feeling called to do a ritual or whatever, I get overwhelmed a lot. So I have to say this stuff for myself too. But if you are feeling called to do that, I am personally maybe incorporating some like herbs, and they're talked about binding in there too. So binding away from something, and shifting the energy. Okay. Excuse me. So that's that. And all that being said, let's dive into our tarot. I'm going to do 3 cards here. 3 cards. Is this it? Okay. Great. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Sure. Aha. Aha, aha, aha. Okay, I'm going to sit with this for 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to start at where we always start. At the bottom of the deck here, these are our shadow cards representing our subconscious. Whoo, right out of the gate is the Knight of Pentacles. This is slow and steady progress, building towards something. So definitely you have already been taking the steps and that necessary action. Whether or what that's being driven by, or maybe even blocked by, though, we have the Three of Swords energy here. The Three of Swords is heartache, it's betrayal and pain. Sometimes it's about within relationship, but because we have it in the shadow position, I think this is like inner anguish. A lot of this anguish too, because it is pain, emotional pain, but with the Three of Swords, swords are an air energy, which is, this is our thoughts, the way that we communicate. So it's possible that this pain is being exacerbated by the mind. All right. And there's a real fear with the Seven of Swords of everything being taken away from you. I want to say again, despite all of this really great progress that's been made, okay, there's something here about confronting those fears and that pain that is still existing in your mind that's causing this immense emotional anguish. There's distrust somewhere in this process. And I want to say in this process of transformation, because this transformation, it's not even that it's just that there's a physical transformation, and it's requiring an internal transformation to get to where you want to go. Is this making sense? And with the Seven of Pentacles, this is a reminder that this work is not going unnoticed. You have continued to show up and tend to yourself, including these wounds. All right. It goes deep. It goes so deep. And I think there's more patience that you need to give yourself. There's probably more credit you need to give yourself. You've been putting a lot of energy into these seeds that you've planted, and it takes a long time for them to grow. And what you see in this physical world doesn't mean that there hasn't been even more growth underneath. So again, we're sort of talking about duality, and we're talking about the internal and the external. We're talking about the subconscious and the conscious. And I'm really feeling this Knight of Pentacles is like, you're definitely not giving up on it, but you're really getting down deep to uproot these issues. And that's where that transformation is coming. And don't forget, you're doing this for a reason, like making yourself uncomfortable, because you are shifting your perspective. Fundamentally, this is on a karmic level that you are transforming. And that sort of leads us into the cards that we have on the table, with the Wheel showing up right out of the gate. This is about fate, destiny, karma. Okay. This particular wheel, these always remind me of like casino chips. Okay. So it's luck. And sometimes the tide is turning in your favor, and sometimes it's not. And that's the way that it is. But you never know, just because you're going through the depths and the darkness, at some point the season will change. You will find yourself back in that light. And the work you did in the darkness is to keep it all turning here. Okay. More on that duality. There's a sense of like adventure in this card for me too. She's got the dice around her neck. She's sort of balancing here. Enjoy the ride is what I'm hearing. Like, despite the pain and the heartache and the fear, enjoy the ride. Okay? Maybe you're coming into that place now. But things are shifting because you've done your work. Things are shifting. The forces at play are shifting. I think because also here's the star card. The star card is big healing energy. Okay. So continuing to focus on healing while you're moving through your transformation. This, I think, using the energy of this moon as a time to make space for some healing, but also the star really representing like us living in our authenticity, our hopes, our dreams, dreaming big. The universe wants you to dream bigger and is moving things into place to support this vision. The trick is, and I think this is what's bringing up the pain, but the pain is coming up in order to be healed. All right. So we literally have the healer energy supporting us through this process. Always remembering that. But in this process of dreaming big, the pain that it's bringing up for you, it really does make you feel very vulnerable. The sun card is in reverse. The sun is also a star. And the sun represents our confidence, what we go after in life. It's our ego. It's solar plexus energy. It's innocence. It's joy. It's happiness. Okay. I think there's some insecurity in dreaming big, but the energies here are supporting, and that's okay. It's okay to be insecure about it because this is what you're meant to be healing at this time. But the universe is specifically creating circumstances for you. The universe wants you to have it all, to have everything, whatever that means for you. So, does that make sense? That's what I'm keying into. And the sun in reverse, even though it's more about like an insecurity, maybe I don't feel like maybe you don't really trust in your sense of self at the moment. That's okay. All right. In times of great transformation, I always go back to the butterfly analogy. Like a caterpillar has to go in a cocoon and it takes time. Transformation takes time. You are a little bit more vulnerable when you are going through transformation. So, maybe making a little bit more space just for you, whatever that means for you, taking extra care of yourself. But the sun card, even in the reverse position, is still so positive. And it's okay to feel vulnerable. That doesn't mean don't continue. You're on the path. You're going the right way. I don't know who needed to hear that, even though it may not feel like it, because you're addressing this pain and this fear. All right. So let's wrap this up, close this out. I'm going to get our moon deck because I think that's going to offer some support, as far as, this need to nurture ourselves through this shift, whatever this is. And this may not be something that's coming out in your physical world. This may be like on a more karmic level, or both. For a lot of us, it's both. But it's a great time of healing for sure. You know, it's a really beautiful energy that's here. So I'm just hearing like trust in that. But let me get a moon card. Could we please have a moon card for any advice? Oh, there's two. Okay. Wait. Any advice? Those aren't the two. Any advice, suggestions, anything else? Is it really two? Okay. No, it's this one. Okay. Thank you. Interesting. About like trusting yourself. Okay, let's see. My emotions move through cycles and connect me to my truth. Which I feel like is this for sure. Yeah. My emotions move through cycles, just like the moon. There's the moon cycle being represented there, and connect me to my truth. It's number 9. Let's see what the book has to say about that. And then we will finish this reading. Okay. We are cyclical in nature and fluctuate. We ebb and flow, rise and fall, contract and expand, and everything in between. Our cycles are a gift and carry deep and rich wisdom. Embrace your cycles and know that they inspire heightened intuition and creative genius. They also unearth buried desires. Ooh, buried desires. I think that's really tying in with stuff, especially in our shadow cards. They reveal where self-care is lacking. Sure. Yep. Healing. Awaken directive inquiry and invite you to truly feel your rhythm. If you resist your essential nature, you may feel disconnected or lose touch with your ability to self-regulate. Okay, that makes sense with the sun in the reverse position. Your body informs and guides you. Pause and feel. Stagnation may be a call for change. Feeling stuck may be a sign you need to move. Weighed down with clutter may be a nudge to make space. Give yourself permission to feel your full range of emotions and your multifaceted nature. This is key to your vitality and wisdom. Okay? And then there is a ritual suggestion for 28-day lunar meditation. So, meditating under the moon for 28 days, which is the lunar cycle, with a candle. Oh, light a candle or be outside under the moonlight and watch either the flame or the moon for 1 to 3 minutes. Okay. What does that do to you over 28 days? So there you go. There's a suggestion. I think overall, though, whether or not you take that suggestion, the message still stands. So, does that make sense? Third time's a charm. I hope so. I hope that you found something helpful here. Let me know if you did. Like the video, comment, share, subscribe, whatever. Do whatever you want. And you know what? I'll be back again, so it doesn't really matter. But I do love hearing from you. So, you know, most of you just message me directly. But yeah, that's what I've got for you. And it's also got a lot for me to think about too. So with that in mind, and with all of that said, I bid you adieu. And good luck. I will see you on the other side.